What I'm going to start with is actually looking at, they've taken the character strengths and they broke them into groupings. So first you're going to see the groupings, and then you're going to see the individual strengths and exactly as far as what they mean. On your report, there's like different levels of the report. If you paid like for the $20 report, if I'm not mistaken, they give you all the information that you're going to see now. I think on your particular report, they just give you a brief description of what the particular strength happens to be. Okay, so first of all, there's the strengths of wisdom and knowledge. And there's actually as far as 5 of them. And the first one happens to be creativity. Okay, so if you're considering creativity, you think of novel, productive ways, and you probably are kind of artistic to a certain extent. Okay, curiosity. Okay, you like to explore and discover new things. You take interest in outgoing experiences for its own sake. You're fascinated by certain subject and topics. We're hoping that all of our students have this sense of curiosity because that fuels the passion for learning. Okay? Now, if you're open-minded, okay, you don't jump to conclusions. You think through things. Okay? You're able to change your mind as far as on the research or the data. Love of learning, which is another key one that we would like students to have, because if you have that particular love, like for example, science, social studies, you're always as far as trying to improve as far as your knowledge base. Perspectives. Now, if you remember last time we talked a lot as far as about perspectives, and we talked about 3 different levels of perspective. Can you take the perspective of somebody else? We did a little activity, Joe. I think you thought of, there was a particular picture I showed, and did you come up with the story of the picture?
Yeah.
Okay, that was one example as far as the perspectives. And then there's this, what we call the strengths of courage. There's 4 in there, and you see honesty, bravery, perseverance, zest. And if you're honest, you speak the truth, you don't put on airs, you basically tell as far as kind of how it is. Then we have bravery, and you don't shrink from the threat or the challenge. You speak up for what you think is right. You act on your convictions, even though it might be unpopular within the team or the school. Okay. Perseverance, again, another very important one, because you can continue, you finish what you start, you find ways to overcome obstacles, and you enjoy completing tasks. Now again, perseverance is one of those 7 that they mentioned that our students need, because they're going to face lots and lots of barriers. Can they get over that hurdle? And zest, and some people say Dr. Bill has zest because you have an excitement and energy as far as for life. You view life as an adventure, and you don't do things halfway or half-heartedly. You complete them as far as to their fullest. Okay? Then there's strengths of humanity, and there's 3 of them: kindness, love, social intelligence. And if you're kind, you enjoy helping others, you enjoy taking care of others, you enjoy doing good deeds as far as for others. Capacity to love and be loved, and Joe, I think you mentioned as far as your parents, that's something that they had, is that you value as far as being close to people, being connected as far as to people. And then the social intelligence piece, which we talked about, very, very important for our students. Big push for Cincinnati Public is to develop our students' social intelligence. Basically, as far as that, can they take, quote, the perspective of others? Can they empathize? Can they understand as far as where other people are coming from, especially their feelings? And there's strengths of justice. And it's interesting, these 3 really fit very nicely into collaboration, because can you work as a team? Do you have leadership qualities? And are you fair? And the person who is fair, you treat all people as far as with respect and fairness. And this is a big one in society, as you're probably aware of what's occurring within as far as our society today. Are we being fair as far as to everybody? Leadership, very, very important. You get people as far as to get things completed. You make things as far as happen. And then working as far as the team. And then there's the strengths of temperaments. And then we've got forgiveness, mercy, prudence, modesty, self-regulation. And are you able to forgive others as far as who wrong you, accept others' shortcomings, give people a second chance, and you're not vengeful? Modesty, which I think is interesting, it says you let your accomplishments speak for themselves rather than you pointing them out to others. You do not view yourself as better than others. Prudence, which is a very interesting one. You are careful in making decisions. You avoid taking unnecessary risks, and you avoid doing or saying things that you later regret. As you know, in today's society, I think in Harrison they had that incident as far as with the sexting that occurred. Can you, quote, avoid doing and saying things that you later regret as far as in life? I think, Mr. Thomas, you mentioned as far as the parents, this is something as far as your dad, as far as associated with?
Yeah, he's good at that. I'm not. So.
Okay. And self-regulation as far as goes in that category. And this is, again, another big one. That's one of those 7 for the grit piece. Can you regulate your feelings? Are you self-disciplined? Do you have self-control? Okay. And then we have strengths of transcendence. We have appreciation of beauty and excellence, gratitude, hope, humor, and spirituality. So do you notice and appreciate as far as the beauty, as far as in others and in life and around you? Gratitude, are you thankful as far as for what occurred? You spend time as far as thanking others. Hope, again, another one as far as for the grit, is you expect the best in the future and you work to achieve it. You believe that good future is something that can be brought about. Humor, people who are humorous, again, they like to laugh and tease, bring a smile on other people's face, and they see the light side of things. Religious, spirituality, as far as related, as far as you understand, you fit into a bigger picture. And those are the 24, quote, strengths. Now, the top 5 are considered as far as what we call signature strengths. So we are going to look at some research on strengths, and then we're going to look at your particular individual strengths and your team strengths, okay? So first, hope, high achievement, low levels of anxiety and depression, forgiveness, emotional stability, low levels of anger, hostility, creativity, positive effect, and effective decision making. Now, there's been some comprehensive studies, and one of the most interesting studies is called the nun study. So here's what they did. These particular nuns took their vow in 1909, and throughout their particular life, they had a journal. So what the, quote, researchers did, they looked at their journals and they looked for positive trends, positive communication, positive thoughts as far as in their particular journal. And what they discovered is that those in their journal who displayed happiness, they were happy with life and happy with their choice and happy with what was occurring, as you can see, 90% of them were still living at the age of 85. While those who were least happy, only 34% of them were living at the age of 85. And then you look at age 94, over half who expressed as far as positivity were living. But only 11% as far as for those who were less happy. So a direct correlation as far as that, if you are happy as far as within your life, you have longer longevity compared to others. Okay. Now, another interesting study looked at people as far as regarding heart attacks and the power of optimism. And we're always concerned as far as about our health and heart attacks. And here's what they did. 120 men they looked at. And they were interviewed, and their interviews were based, they were looking at those who were optimistic and those who were pessimistic. Okay? What they did is they looked at long-term survival rates of the 16 men who were most optimistic and then the 16 men who were the most pessimistic. And based on that research regarding surviving and still alive today, for optimists, 11 out of 16 are still alive today. If they had a pessimistic view, only 1 of 16 were still alive today. And you hear today, as far as in the field of medicine, is that this is a big push as far as that they are really focusing upon, is that it can change as far as how you heal and what occurs as far as within your health. Difference between optimistic and being pessimistic. Okay, So interesting. Now, before we look at your particular strengths, we're going to look at some very interesting thing. And you know the story about Derek? Remember the story about Derek? Well, Derek was Olympian. And he was running as far as in a particular race. I think it was the 400, if I'm not mistaken. And something very interesting happened. I'm going to show you a little video as far as Derek. And most importantly, after you see the video, tell me what particular character strengths you think him and also his dad.
Oh, I remember this.
You remember this?
This is
Okay.
my favorite sports moments.
Your favorite spokes?
Yeah, the
Okay.
British guy, right?
Okay. Seen it before?
Well, I'm old. I remember that.
You remember that?
He was probably like 4. I watched
Okay.
that.
Yeah. A wonderful video as far as for your students. Now, what character strengths you think Derek had and his father had?
I was 6. It was 92.
Was 6? Okay. Well, perseverance would be the
Okay,
obvious.
perseverance, definitely. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Perseverance, bravery.
Okay, bravery, courage. All right, so continue after it hurts.
Maybe. What did I just see? Oh. Okay. I can't think of anything else. Bravery, humility, maybe. Judgment,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay, how about dad?
Love.
Love for his son. Okay,
Well, Dad was perseverance as well.
okay, to help him. Okay, we're now at the VIA, and you all have taken the VIA. So let's look at the quote strengths and go back here. Make sure, Mr. Thomas, I'm back on the right.
Look at the Word document at the bottom.
Okay, word where it says
Where
here.
it says W? No.
No,
On the doc at the very bottom, to the right of the PowerPoint.
right
Yeah,
here.
right there.
Okay,
There you
got it. Okay, okay, Joe. So these are your top 5, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so tell us about them.
So I got love, fairness, teamwork, perseverance, humor.
Okay.
Kind of once everyone did it on our team, we kind of talked about how we noticed there were some patterns about how we had some of the same things, and it was also nice to see as a team that everyone had a different first one, everyone had a different second one. I think everyone had a different third one. It was nice to see that there were so many differences.
Okay, so
Because
it's individuality.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if we were all
Uniqueness.
like me and all had love in the beginning, it wouldn't I wouldn't be right. It's nice to have this mixture
Okay.
in there.
Okay. Now, of those 5, any surprises?
I don't know if I thought love would be so high.
Okay.
Okay. No, I think I'm a good teammate and work with people.
Good sense of humor.
Yeah,
Okay. And fair.
yeah, I feel like I am.
Okay. Good. Okay. Now, Mr. Thomas, based as far as on what you see for Joe, any ones that surprise you or stand out, or you would see different?
No, none of them surprised me.
Okay. 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 So let's go down to Mr. Thomas, and your 5 happen to be.
You want me to say them?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
love of learning, creativity, judgment, humility, and bravery.
Okay. Any ones that you're surprised?
What is judgment?
Judgment as far as
I think if you hit your previous screen that you pulled up, it had everything.
Yeah.
Do you mind doing that?
sure.
Because it actually was Mike's that was printed. Was it? What was it, Mike? Was it a Word document? What was it?
Go to the Google. Yeah, that one
That
right
one,
there.
Okay. The computer's really slow here, so
That's nice because then we actually read it and see what everything was.
might load today.
I pulled it up.
Okay, based on this definition of judgment, that's surprising to me.
Okay. And why?
don't think I think things through that much.
Okay, here they are.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't know that I think things through all the time.
Okay.
And,
This is one where, again, if you have data or whatever, you're able to change your mind. You're open-minded.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess I am open-minded.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm half and half on that one. But that one surprised me a little bit. And then bravery kind of clashed with the last time we were here when, like I said, it was a weenie as far as conflict. But at the same time, that's something that's changed with age for me. I used to
be braver, and then you
be much more like
Okay.
argumentative and saying that I'm right and you're wrong. Which now I don't really have that trait as much.
Okay.
So I found that kind of interesting. I don't know if that's correct or not on there.
Okay. Joe, based as far as on those 5, any surprises as far as regarding Mr. Thomas?
No, he's very, for humility, he's very humble. And we even, like me and Miss Jones, or Miss Jones especially, would be like, man, he's like the most humble person I know, and he does these great lessons, and then the kids love him and all that stuff, and he's like, oh, shucks, guys. Or not like that, but doesn't, I don't know.
Shucks?
No, you don't say, oh, shucks, guys, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you're not like, yeah, man, I know I do good lessons. He's not like that. He's like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay.
You used to be argumentative and stuff like that. I can't see you as that.
Now, what about, he mentioned judgment. Do you see as far as the judgment as far as them?
What did...
Judgment is like that open-mindedness as far as able to think things through.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with being judgmental.
No, it's actually just the opposite as far as, so you take all the information as far as before making a decision.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah, Mike does that.
Okay.
And it was nice because, looking at the other team, Mr. Feist usually here, he didn't do it, so we said procrastination for him.
Yeah, no, I'm curious why he didn't engage in the activity, so.
I don't know.
Okay. Now, what about the other, as far as 4 people who did, or 3 people who did it, and what you saw of them, is that true?
Yeah.
As far as that?
For Gardner, appreciation of beauty and excellence, and curiosity. I mean, that describes her. She'll go to, where's that, Spring Grove Cemetery, and, just loves nature, stuff like that. Miss Jones is that math teacher we were talking about.
Okay.
She's religious, so that forgiveness kind of comes into play as well.
Okay.
And then Shepherd.
I think Shepherd's dead on.
Yeah, she's very fair, perseverance. Yeah, that just describes her like a loving person.
Yeah. I was very impressed with how accurate this was, actually.
Okay.
I think this is more accurate than the weenie thing that you were talking about from last.
Okay, the one that we did.
Sorry we called it that.
But I mean, this was, this took like a good 15, almost 20 minutes, so you almost had to.
Yeah, a lot more questions as far as on it compared to, and the way they scored it and computerized it.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall, pretty much as far as on target.
Yeah.
Okay, now, the next piece as far as we want to do is we looked at the character strengths, is we actually want to go back and look at the particular strengths of the group. Okay? So let me just go back to here. And Joe, I'm going to write them up here. So is there one that's in common for all 4 of you or 5 of you who've taken it?
No, yeah.
But we found that love, I was like 6th or 7th.
Okay.
Love, and they all had it, I think.
Okay.
Almost all of them did.
Did they all have love?
No.
Three of the 5 did, and then mine was like 6 or 7.
Okay, so there's not one that's common to everybody, and is there one that's common to 4 of the 5?
Perseverance is 1, 2, 3. 3 of the, if we're counting 5.
Okay, so love is 3. Perseverance.
Love is 3, but Thomas is love of learning, so it's almost. But Zen, I don't know how Zen.
Well, the level of learning is as far as that's going to love a person.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 for love, perseverance. How about any more with 3?
Humor.
Okay. Okay. So those are 3. Any with 2?
Fairness.
Okay, fairness.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure.
And creativity.
Okay, creativity.
Bravery.
And bravery. Any others as far as with 2? Okay, so 3 with 3 is love, perseverance, and humor. and then we have bravery, fairness, and creativity as far as with 2. Okay? So when we look at your particular group, okay?
Love is 2 too.
Well, love is just 2?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. 3.
Yeah, okay. Is that this is probably as far as that is kind of the core of SARS of your group.
Yeah.
And perseverance is really important because if a problem occurs, you're going to persevere. Second, love your kids. Want to do as far as what's best as far as for your kids, which is very, very important. And humor, as far as that you can kind of break up as far as the tension, things that occurs, problems, you can kind of roll with it. And then you have your second level of bravery, fairness, creativity. And then, Joe, I think you mentioned a very important point, is that there's a lot of uniqueness and individuality. And remember, we said that's very important because when you collaborate and you come together as a team, is that each person on the team brings their unique perspective and strengths, and basically it strengthens the team as far as a whole because people are coming from a different perspective as far as of how it's going to function and the solutions that you're going to come up with. Now, very, very interesting in doing these with other groups and corporations, we actually discovered as far as decisions that are made by the team are actually reflected as far as in their particular strengths, as far as what's going to occur or what we call the end product, as far as what they come up with. Because I noticed as far as in doing this particular exercise is when people have certain strengths, we see certain solutions. When people have other particular strengths as far as of notice, we see different solutions. So basically as far as your strengths is actually going to affect as far as your end results of what your solutions are going to be for your particular problem. Okay? And more importantly, it also affects as far as the process as far as of the team. Because if you have people who, quote, love or work better with each other, well, then that's something as far as they get along because they're people persons as compared to other people who are maybe driven as far as by other, as far as particular motives or issues. Okay, now, last thing as far as we want to do, as far as for today, is that based as far as on your particular strengths, okay, can we get as far as the last person to take it sometime in the future? Just curious.
I mean, Joe's asked him 15
Okay.
times.
Okay.
No,
Just because
I don't want to be mean about it.
no, because it's nice. Now, let me ask you: did you share this as far as with the team?
Yeah, we
And
sat there.
what was the perspective of the team? What was the feedback as far as from the team?
Much the same thing we just said. They all agreed with them, I thought.
Okay.
I like taking it. I mean, at first they were. I mean, it took a while to take. You know,
Yeah, it does take a long time.
Yeah. It takes what about? I would say
15, 20
15-20 minutes?
You're
Okay.
going fast.
Yeah, because they were like going through and they were like, man, this took forever. And I don't know. They almost didn't want to do it at first, but then I think once they saw, because remember the first time we came, they took some. Didn't they take some quiz that we gave them a packet or whatever?
That didn't take long though.
Yeah, but they actually liked seeing it and everything because we didn't do anything they asked. But.
Now if that stupid place just stopped emailing me.
Yeah, they're going to email
I
you
know,
because you're on that. See, that's actually new to the system because it said that wasn't as far as on their system before, as far as when I took it. So now they're now. Do you know who the developers of the VI happen to be?
Oh,
The Mayersons.
Oh, that's all he does.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Donna and Neil Mayerson, who's the president of the Mayerson Academy. So they're actually developers, and that's why we're closely linked as far as to that. Okay, last thing to share with you before we kind of adjourn for today. And as I said, I enjoyed as far as the 4 times as far as that we met, even though it was a small audience, the interactions and that type of thing. So
really enjoyed it.
as I said, hopefully sometime in the future I'll have the opportunity as far as to work with you guys again, and hopefully with other CPS individuals. But last thing I want to share with you is what the research says regarding the workplace regarding strengths. And it says that people who use 4 or more of their signature strengths at work, okay, so if you remember your top 4, your 5, Joe, it says you're more satisfied with your work, and you're more likely as far as to view your work as a calling. Now, I'm going to put these as far as on the website, okay, so feel free as far as to access, as far as all the stuff you saw today will be on the website. If you want to, if you write down your emails, I'll email you as far as the personal copy, as far as the presentation, so you'll have that. Second, another particular study says that alignment of signature strengths with work generates job satisfaction, engagement, pleasure, finding your meaning as far as in your particular job. So when you associate with those particular strengths as far as that you name, those 5 top strengths, it actually generates as far as these positive things. Okay? And the last thing that says use of signature strengths is linked with personal well-being and job satisfaction. So not only as far as a unique individual, but when your team uses the strengths as far as that has been, quote, developed, it also actually adds as far as to the purpose as far as of the collaboration of the team. As I said, I enjoyed, got the brief survey as far as for you guys to complete, and I wish you too as far as a wonderful, wonderful school year, and go Bearcats.
Yeah, right.
Okay.